17 January 2023 Morning Murali Om Shanti Baap Dada Madhuban. Essence, sweet children, you have come to this study place to make your fortune elevated. You have to study with the incorporeal Father and become kings of kings. Question: how do some fortunate children become unfortunate? Answer: the children who have no karmic bondages are fortunate. That is, they are free from karmic bondages. However, if they then don't pay attention to studying and their intellects wander here and there, if they don't remember the one Father from whom they receive such a big inheritance, then even though they are fortunate, they would be called unfortunate. Second question: Srimad is filled with which sweetness? Answer: it is only Srimad that includes the direction of the mother, the father, the teacher, and the guru. Srimad is like saccharine which contains all the sweetness of this. Song: I have come having awakened my fortune. Om Shanti. God Shiva speaks. When people relate the Gita, they do so using Krishna's name. Here the one who narrates it says, God Shiva speaks. He himself can say, God Shiva speaks because Shiv Baba himself is speaking. The two together can also say this. You children belong to both. Both sons and daughters are sitting here. Therefore, he says, children, do you understand who is teaching you? You would say that Baap Dada is teaching you. The senior one is called the father and the younger one is called Dada. That is, the brother is called Dada. So, Baap and Dada together are Baap Dada. You children know that you are also students. Students sit in a school to make their fortune, to study and pass such and such an examination. There are many of those physical examinations. Here, it is in the hearts of you children that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is teaching you. You don't call this one Brahma the Father. The incorporeal Father is explaining to you. You know that we will study Raj Yoga with the Father and become kings of kings. There are kings, there are also kings of kings. Those who are the kings of kings are worshipped by kings. This system only continues in the land of Bharat. Impure kings worship pure kings, idols. The Father has explained that those who have large properties are called emperors, maharajas. Kings are junior nowadays. Some kings have more property than maharajas. Some wealthy people have even more property than kings. There it is not unlawful. Everything there is according to the law. The great emperors would have large properties. You children know that the unlimited Father is sitting here and teaching you. No one apart from Supreme Soul can make you into kings of kings, masters of heaven. The creator of heaven is the incorporeal Father. His name is remembered as Heavenly God, the Father. The Father clearly explains, it is I who once again am giving you children the self-sovereignty and making you into kings of kings. You know that having awakened your fortune, You have now come to the unlimited Father to become kings of kings. This is matter of so much happiness. It is very important examination. Baba says, follow Srimad. This includes the direction of the mother and father, teacher and guru, etc. This is the saccharine of all of them. The one is filled with the sweetness of them all. The beloved of all is one. It is the Father who makes impure ones pure. Guru Nanak also praised that one. So you definitely have to remember that one. First of all, we will take you to where he resides and then he will send you to the pure world. Explain to anyone who comes that this is a godly college. God speaks. In other school, they wouldn't say God speaks. God is the incorporeal, the ocean of knowledge, the seed of the human word tree. I sit here and teach you children. This is godly knowledge. Saraswati is called the goddess of knowledge. So, they definitely become gods and goddess through this godly knowledge. Through the education of barristry, you would become a barrister. This is godly knowledge. God has given knowledge to Saraswati. So just as Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge, so too are you children. Saraswati has many children, but it is not possible for each one to be called a goddess of knowledge. You cannot call yourselves goddess at this time. There you are called deities. God really does give you knowledge. He makes you imbibe these lessons. That one gives you a high status. But deities cannot be God and Goddess. This mother and father are like a God and Goddess, but they are not that. The incorporeal Father is called God, the Father. This corporeal one would not be called God. These are very deep matters. The form and the relation of souls with the Supreme Soul is such a deep matter. All of those physical relationships of maternal and paternal uncles are common. This is a spiritual relationship. You need great method in order to explain. They sing of the mother and father, and so that definitely has meaning. Those words become impressible. They also continue on the path of devotion. You children know that you are sitting in a school. The one who is teaching you in the ocean of knowledge. This one's soul is also studying. The Father of this soul is God. The Father who is the Father of all, who is teaching us. He doesn't have to enter a womb. So how would he teach you knowledge? He enters the body of Brahma. Those people have then put Krishna's name instead of Brahma's. This is too is fixed in the drama. It is only when a mistake is made that the Father can come and correct that mistake and make you free from making mistakes. Because of not knowing the incorporeal one, people have become confused. The Father explains, I am your unlimited Father who gives you your unlimited inheritance. How did Lakshmi and Narayan become the master of heaven? No one knows this. Someone must definitely have taught them how to perform such actions, and that one must definitely be senior for him to enable them to claim a high status. People don't know anything at all. The Father explains to you with so much love. He is such a great authority. He is the master who purifies the whole world. He explains this drama is predestined. You have to go around the cycle. No one knows this drama. How we are actors in the drama. How the cycle turns. Who changes the lands of sorrow into the lands of happiness. Only you know this. I teach you for the land of happiness. You alone become constantly happy for 21 births. No one else can go there. They must definitely be forever people in the land of happiness. Very good point have to be explained to you. You say, Baba, I belong to you. However, it does take time to belong to him completely. Some are quickly freed from their karmic bondages, whereas it takes time for others. Some are so fortunate that their karmic bondages are already broken, but because they don't pay attention to studying, they are called unfortunate ones. Their intellects go to their children, their grandchildren, etc. Here you have to remember the one alone. You are the receiver very big inheritance. You know that you are becoming kings of kings. The Father sits here and explains how impure kings are created and how the pure kings of kings are created. I myself come and make you into kings of kings, masters of heaven. Through this Raj Yoga, those impure kings become that by making donation. I don't come to create them. They are great donors. By donating, they take birth in a royal family. I give you happiness for 21 births. They become that for one birth, but nevertheless they remain impure and unhappy. I come and make your children pure. People think that they can become pure just by bathing in the Gangas. They stumble around so much. They praise the Gangas and the Jamuna so much. Here, there is no need to praise anyone. The water comes from the ocean. There are many such rivers abroad too. They make many canals by digging them. What is the big deal about that? They don't know who is the ocean of knowledge is or who the Gangas of knowledge are. They don't know anything about what the Shaktis did. In fact, the Jagatamba is the Gangas of knowledge, the Saraswati of knowledge. People don't know anything. They are like those who are uneducated. They are completely senseless Buddhas. The Father comes and makes those who are senseless very sensible. You can tell those people who it was who made them into kings of kings. It is also mentioned in the Gita. I alone make you into a kings of kings. People don't know this at all. Who ourselves didn't know this. Even the one who became that and is no longer that didn't know. So how could others know? There is no meaning to the notion of omnipresence. Whom do you have yoga with? Whom would you call out to? If you yourself are God, whom would you pray to? It is a great wonder. There is respect for those who do a lot of devotion. There is also a rosary of devotees. The rosary of Rudra is the rosary of knowledge. That is then the rosary of devotees. That is the incorporeal rosary. All souls resides there. Out of those, which souls are the first to claim number one? The souls of Saraswati and Brahma claim number one. These are matters of souls on the path of devotion. Everything is about physical things. such and such a devotee was like this, they would mention the name of the body. You would not say this of human beings. You know who the Brahma soul becomes. He will adopt a body and become a king of kings. The soul enters a body and rules the kingdom. He is not a king now. It is the soul that rules. I am a king. I am a soul. I am a master of this body. This soul adopt a body named Sri Narayan, and then I rule. It is the soul that listens to something and imbibes it. The sanskars remain in the soul. You know that we are claiming our kingdom from the father by following Sriman. Both Bap and Dada together say children. Both have the right to say children. They say two souls. Incorporeal children remember me, the Father. The Father, no one else can say, O incorporeal children, O souls, remember me, the Father. It is the Father who speaks to you souls. He doesn't say, God, remember me. God. He says, O souls, remember me. You, Father, and your sins will be absolved through this fire of yoga. No sinful soul can become a charitable soul by bathing in the Gangas. They bath in the Gangas, go back home, and then commit sin. It is because of this vicious that they become sinful souls. No one understands this. The Father explains, you now have the server omens of Rahu over you. The Father explains, you now have the severe omens of Rahu over you. At first, the omens are very light. Now, make a donation and the omens can be removed. The attainment is very great. So, you should also make that much effort. The Father says, I alone will make you into the kings of kings. Therefore remember me and the inheritance. Remember you 84 births. This is why Baba has given you children the name spinners of the discourse of self-realization. So you also need to have the knowledge of self-realization. The Father explains, this old world is to be destroyed. I am to take you to the new world. Sannyasis simply forget their homes and families, whereas you forget the whole world. Only the Father says, become bodiless. I am to take you to the new world, so break your attachment to the old world and your old bodies. Then in the new world you will receive new bodies. Look, Krishna is called Shyam Sundar. He was beautiful in the golden age, whereas now in the last birth he has become ugly. So it would be said that the one who has become ugly becomes beautiful, and that he then becomes ugly again. This is why they have given him the name Shyam Sundar. It is the 5 vices, Ravan, that make you ugly, and then the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, makes you beautiful. It is also shown as the picture that I am kicking the old world away and becoming beautiful. Beautiful souls become the masters of the world. Ugly souls become the masters of the hell. It is souls that become ugly and beautiful. The Father says, you now have to become pure. Those Hatha yogis use a lot of force to become pure. However, you cannot become pure without having yoga. Or you cannot become pure without experiencing punishment. Therefore, why should you not remember the Father? You also have to conquer the 5 vices. The father says the vice of lust makes you experience sorrow from its beginning through the middle to the end. Those who cannot conquer the vices cannot become kings of paradise. This is why the father says, look, in the form of the father, the teacher and the Sadguru, I am teaching you to perform such good actions. I inspire you to have your sins absolved with the power of yoga and make you into the kings who are conquerors of sinful action. In fact, it is the deities of the golden age who are called the kings who are conquerors of sinful action. There are no sinful actions there. The era of the conquerors of sin is separate from the era of those who perform sin. The king who conquered sinful action existed in the past, and there was also the king who performed the sinful action, who has been and gone. We are now conquering sins. Sins will then begin to be committed anew in the copper age. So they have given the name King Vikram, means one who performed sinful actions. Deities are conquerors of sinful actions. We are now becoming that. And then when we go on to the path of sin, the accounts of sin will begin. We settle the accounts of sin here and we then become conquerors of sin. There are no sinful actions performed there. Therefore, children, you should have the intoxication that we are making our fortune elevated here. This is the study place for making the greatest fortune. There is no question of making a fortune in a spiritual gathering. It is always in a study place that a fortune is created. You know that we will change from ordinary humans into Narayan. That is, we will become the kings of kings. Truly, the impure kings worship the pure kings. I alone make you pure. You will not rule in the impure world. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children. Love, remembrance, good morning from the mother, the father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence for dharana. First point. Become free from the omens of Rahu by keeping the knowledge of the discourse of self-realization in your intellect. Settle the accounts of sin by performing elevated action, and with the power of yoga, become a conqueror of sinful actions. Second point. In order to make your fortune elevated, pay full attention to study. Blessing, may you remain free. Blessing, may you remain free from any attractive bondage of the sweetness of extroversion and become liberated in life. Explanation. Extroversion means the vibrations of a person's nature and sanskars, his thoughts, words, relationships and connections. They lead you to wastefulness of one kind or another. To become always busy is one or another type of wasteful thinking. To be distanced from internal happiness, peace and power. This sweetness of extroversion has a great deal of external attraction. Therefore, first of all, cut this away, because this sweetness becomes a subtle bondage and distance you from your destination of success. When you become free from these bondages, you will then be said to be liberated in life. Slogan. Those who are liberated and detached from the impact of good and bad actions and are merciful are true tapasvis. Om Shanti.